Everyone, welcome to the Moga Bar Show. My name is Gabe, as always, and with me, I have a special guest, Amanda Lynn Baez. She is an actress, a podcast host, a production guru, and a comedian. So I'm excited to have her here.
Oh,
And you're based in Brooklyn, my hometown, so that's awesome. But yeah, Amanda,
yes.
thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Where are those like, "Bah, bah, bah, bah." Are
I
you
know
gonna play
I
those
need that.
horns when
I
I come
I
out?
I don't have the Trevor Noah setup. Yeah. He's great with those sound effects. I'm not him.
No, no worries.
Nah, this is cool. But no, I'm excited to talk to you because you've gone through a lot this last year with the pandemic. You know, you're a comedian, you've performed in LA, New York, and it's been tough, like, because basically you couldn't perform.
Yeah,
What was that like? And now things starting to open back up, get back out there. What's it been? Well, how's that been?
Gabe, it's honestly it was sad. That one word, sad, when all the comedy clubs were closed and we were just all stuck at home. I mean, it was very 50-50 for me because I, for one, just was on I'm never on a break usually. So the fact that the whole world was on a break, I was in a robe 5 days of the week. I was playing video games. I was like, we're going to die anyway. Who cares if I gain 15 pounds? I was just on that mindset. But if we're being realistic, I mean, it was quite a huge shift in, I feel like everyone, especially in the entertainment industry, it gave people time to write a lot,
Mhm.
or just think about, their career paths, like what direction they're going to go in. And for me, for one, that's when I started my podcast, was during the pandemic, because I felt like that was my only outlet for comedy. There was no shows going on. I mean, a couple months in, there were Zoom shows, but who wants to see clapping emojis? No one. I want to hear the audience. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
get that energy, that feedback. So it was just, it was sad. It was hard. And now that things are opening back up, I feel like everyone is back with a punch.
Yeah.
And I sometimes feel like, oh man, like it's a little overwhelming. I recently started writing again. I've started writing with a co-writer, a dear friend of mine now, and we're just trying to pitch some things to a producer, a writer with SNL, a producer with oh my god, the Colbert Show, the late night
Yeah.
show. So now that it's like all hitting me, I'm like, oh my god, I was unemployed for like 9 months, and now it's just all right, back into work, back in that front line, and just, yeah, get the gears going, because there was a wrench thrown into the engine, and now we got to start getting that oil back in. And
Was it tough to like get started again, like get started going? It's like, okay, I'm gonna
oh
do it. I'm gonna do it. It's like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow.
yeah,
Um,
it was honestly, for me, it's just been a lot of I've been holding back a little bit. I'm like, okay, the world is sad, a lot of protesting, presidential debates, which was a whole fucking joke. I now can joke about politics. Before I couldn't. I knew absolutely nothing until I started doing my research, and I'm like, whoa, this country's garbage. It's hot garbage. But yeah, no, I honestly have been had a little setback. People are trying to be safe, especially in New York City with the clubs opening up and everything indoors. It's like you got to be vaccinated to be inside, which I am vaccinated. I am. But it's been hard
yeah.
to find the funny, I guess, a little bit. And now that it's I don't want to say it's hard to be funny, but a lot of people a lot of people feel vulnerable right now and just a little sensitive, and it's just
Yeah.
it's hard to talk about some topics now. And
It
I'm like,
it is. It's like it
yeah,
feels like the world basically they haven't figured out how to move on. They want to move on. Everyone
yeah,
wants to move on. But it's like
hmm,
what's taboo? What's off limits? What's allowed? It's
yeah,
like, it's almost like you have to ask permission, which kind of destroys the joke in
it
a way.
sucks.
It's like, yeah, it's like, can I say this joke? No, okay, let me. So it's like, what do you do? Where you going? It's like, so it's tough to because you want to thread the line. You want to be funny. You want to be professional. You want to be spontaneous.
Yeah,
but you don't, it's like you don't want to be disrespectful to
Yeah,
people,
I'm
and they
not trying to be
force that.
canceled. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
be like, like give me a break. I'm only 24. Like, but I mean, it's not what you say, it's how you say things. I mean, there's
Hmm.
certain things that I'm not educated enough to joke about, therefore I
Hmm.
don't touch.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I try to joke about things that relate to me and that I know will relate to other people. Like I know,
Hmm.
oh, this will definitely hit. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I just had a conversation with one of my writers, and we were like, she brought up the time she lost her virginity and how ridiculous and insane it was. And I'm like, wow, people could relate to that. Like the way she said it, like she was like, oh, this would be a great idea. But it's like, okay, now you got to write it out. You got to, because everyone, I feel like most people can relate to that,
Right.
So it's like, okay, that's a funny story you've got. Now we got to write it out. And we got to make sure it's punching. Like
Hmm.
the formula is right. So,
Yeah. And you're going to be writing, I'm sure, about your apartment hunt soon. Your
the, it's, it's a lot. it's,
but
it's so sad. These apartments in New York City are so freaking sad. I'm like, why are we punished for giving you guys this much money? I don't understand
yeah,
why I live in a shoebox.
they're trying to help your creative juices. They want to give you something to write about.
They're trying to give me like a panic attack. I feel like I am claustrophobic living in these apartments. Um,
Oh man.
it's
No.
quite interesting, yeah.
So what's next for you? Because you've acted, you've been on some shows, you work on shows behind the scenes. Is Saturday Night Live sort of like the pinnacle? Is that like, because I feel like every comedian wants to be on SNL to some extent, or at least maybe pass through its doors.
Mhm.
Maybe be considered. Is that it for you? Do you want to be on there? Like, what's next for Amanda?
That's a great question. I feel like when I hit that sort of, it's just, first of all, it's crazy to think that me and this writer are like pitching to someone that's in there. Like I never thought in my days that at 24 I'd have that opportunity. So right now I'm like dumbfounded. But I feel like afterwards I'm not gonna be like, yeah, that's it. That's my life. Like I'm done. No, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
figure out all right what my next steps are. Like you mentioned, I do work in film. I am a production coordinator for like TV and movies and documentaries and things like that. Another, how the hell did I get into this kind of journey? Um,
Well, you're a hard worker. You're a hustler. You're clearly
you
hustling.
you gotta be living in a shoebox, paying how much money here? You gotta hustle and bustle, make money somehow. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, be one of those people that pick up cans on the street. I'm this close to doing that. I'm this close. It looks like so easy. Like wow, let me. Yeah. So like
I have a bunch of cans here. I can help out the cause. I
recycle.
recycle.
It's good. Get money for it. That's awesome. But I guess
Uh,
after my goal, honestly, is to just create projects that tell great stories. And yeah, that's just, I want to work in the comedy industry like for the
mhm.
rest of my life, I guess, until I drop dead. I want to just perform everywhere. I want to do stand up because that's just such great practice, especially at open mics.
Yeah.
That's like you're practicing your stand up routines there, even though you're being like heckled by other comedians that are there to practice as well. But yeah,
Is
just
that
the
a
goal.
is that a thing? Is it expected that I know fans always heckle comedians, but do the other comedians heckle you as well?
I mean, I guess I don't want to say. I maybe if they know you, if they're close to you, they'll be like stupid and do that. Or no, just at the open mics, it's normally just people that are practicing their material too sometimes. So
Yeah.
maybe they don't want to laugh at what you're doing, and you're like, damn, did this not work or did it work? But then I hear the barista chuckling in the back. I'm like, all right, it worked because
I got one. I
yeah,
got
yeah,
one.
yeah, it worked. These people are just jealous, or I don't know, or maybe I have to rewrite this joke. I don't know. But yeah, no, definitely the end goal is, I mean, I feel like there's really no end goal. I'm just,
No, and that's good. There should never be an end goal. It should always just
no,
be a progression and a constant evolution of
as,
what you've done.
yeah, SNL is
So
just
that's
a
cool.
milestone. It's just like,
Yes.
holy what? Like, how'd I end up here?
Nice. No, that's pretty cool. Talk me through your creative process. Like, what's that like? I know you're working with a partner now, but what's that like? Do you guys like what's that work like? Do you guys have the final say? You say, well, I don't like that joke. And then your partner's like, well, I think this could really hit if you like, if you do it good. And you're like, I really don't like that joke. And it's like what's the balance? Like, who wins out in that scenario?
So, I feel like her and we both have similar, we have the same humor. So we're both like dry, a little bit of raunchy, dark. I think she's hilarious. And that's one of the reasons why, like, we met and we are working together now. So, we just started fleshing out our stories a little bit. Actually, next week we're gonna have a whole big meeting on that. But anyway, we've just started like fleshing out new ideas and shows that she's writing and a show that I want to write and pitch. So she's just giving me ideas, I'm giving her ideas, and we're literally just taking it like either with a grain of salt, like, oh yeah, that would work. That's actually a good idea. Or that's good, but let me change it this way. Like, it's just good to bounce off each other's ideas. I'm never like, that's not going to work. No. Like, I mean, it really depends. Like, we're just both also brutally honest. So I would know when she's not liking something. And if I can't like move forward with that joke or that punch up, I'm like, okay, let me put it to the side because maybe it might work in the future. Let me just hold it in my back pocket and like move on. So when we're not like stuck with this one thing. Yeah, but she's great.
No, that's cool. Yeah. That's excellent. I mean, you've got an interesting background. You were born in Texas. Your father was in the military.
Yeah.
Moved to Jersey. Live in Brooklyn now. When I first spoke to you, you were in Boston.
Yeah.
You travel everywhere.
I know. I need to stay put.
What do you like about traveling? Do you enjoy traveling? Do you enjoy hitting the road? Are you happy that things are opening back up again and just want to like, bam, I'm gone. Peace out, Brooklyn.
Hell yeah, I'm happy things are opening back up. I'm 24. I need to live my life. I cannot be stuck here anymore. Yeah, open up, get vaccinated, wear a freaking mask when they tell you. Just, yeah, so I can just enjoy my early 20s, please. Like, yeah.
So you're avoiding Florida and Texas is what it sounds like.
I was actually just in Texas for a shoot for a show. It's this new documentary series for Discovery Channel. So we had to travel a little bit. San Antonio, yeah, they don't call 911 down there at all, I feel. So kidding. That's not my joke. I read it off an ornament they had. But anyway, yeah, Florida is kind of like a no-go. I'm kind of afraid. It's a little bit of a COVID pool, bath, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But no, I love traveling for work. I feel like I love seeing different cities, different cultures, trying the foods over there. I was in Maine for the first time when I was working up in Boston. My boyfriend, he's a camera guy. So we were like, oh, we have break and we're in Boston. Let's just drive up to Maine, try some lobster. And he hates lobster, like officially. He just hates seafood. He's just, his taste buds aren't mature enough yet, I feel. So it's okay. He'll maybe one day.
Just, you just got to just put it there in front of him. He'll just eat it.
I'm trying, Gabe, I'm trying. And he thinks it tastes like rubber seawater. I don't know. Which is, I mean, I guess I'm like, dude, grow up. I don't know. Your taste buds need to age.
Go to Maine and not have a lobster. Come on, what's wrong?
Oh my God, it was so good. So like traveling and just meeting these new people and different dialects. It's just, It's awesome. I love it. I love it. We're going to London in April, so
Oh,
it's just
nice. That's nice.
that's totally different from America, clearly. So
Just a little bit.
a little bit,
They
you
spell
know.
they spell it differently, but it's still the same.
Yeah. So
No, that's pretty cool.
yeah, I love traveling. I feel like that's one of the purposes in life is to just like explore like this land that
Yeah.
we're on and or this planet we're on and just I don't know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow or 30 days
You
from
know,
now
you
or 5 years from
gotta
now.
live it and enjoy it.
God, just go. Just go.
So let's pivot. You started your podcast. You mentioned earlier, Bay with a Z. For those that can't put it together, her last name is Baez.
Yeah. And
So
I'm a
Bay,
total bay.
there you go, with a Z.
With a
Um,
Z.
you basically just talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Have you heard an episode? It's a lot. I have my mom on. We're doing Would You Rathers with my mother, and she's like, "Are you fucking insane? Why are you asking me some dumb question?" Like, she's just like a character, so that's why I had her on. I'm like, I don't care what I ask you. You're just gonna be funny. And
I think that's awesome. I think that's
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I try to write out like my episodes, you know, I try to flesh them out a little. There's some where it's like improv, and I'm like, all right, Gone with the Wind, bullseye, like say whatever you want to say. I will edit the ignorant shit out if you say anything stupid. Like, I'll be sure to. But I have Wine and Weed Wednesdays, and that's normally my days of like my guests and I are just having a blunt if they smoke, or we're having a glass of wine and we're just getting loopy de doopy on camera, and we're just talking about anything you could possibly think of, and it's just hilarious, and it's also on camera, so
there you go. I mean,
yeah.
it's documented for the world. It's like if you don't put it out there, at least it's a blooper reel for later on. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
like, why not? I say put it out. Let the chips fall where they may. No, that's pretty cool. I think, if nobody's listening to it, you got to go check it out, because I saw a couple episodes and I was cracking up. I was like, oh, this is funny. I was like, and I don't know if you meant to be funny, but I was laughing because it was just. We'll talk about that later. I'm
not like, oh my God, Amanda, you have to say this. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not like, all right, make sure I say this joke. No, we're just going
just
with
talking,
it.
And that's what's good about it is like, just talking, just okay, this is it. This is me just gonna talk.
Yeah.
So I think that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah. What's it like? You're Puerto Rican, 24 years old, so you're young. What's it like being in a production role in this industry, Hollywood, but not Hollywood, but
I mean, I deal with LA boneheads a lot. Yeah. So yeah, I guess.
So, what's that like? Because, is it difficult? Was it difficult to get into the door? Was it difficult staying in the room once you were through the door?
Honestly, I keep saying honestly, and I'm being honest the whole time. Amanda, stop saying honestly. Anyway, I'm gonna lie to you this time. No, it's as a Hispanic woman in the industry, it's definitely, especially with like the protesting of like Black Lives Matter a year ago, and just like now they're protesting with IATSE for the film union. They're now realizing like, all right, in this industry, it is extremely male dominated, especially by Caucasian men. And I feel like I'm losing years off my life when I communicate with people like that. Like the whole team is like that. And I'm like, oh, you're not getting what I'm saying. Anyway, no, they're cool. But it's definitely hard. It was a little intimidating at first. But I think I see a lot of change. I see a lot of BIPOC. I see a lot of minorities working in the industry and finally given the opportunity. So it just feels good. Like I one day you Google my name and it's going to say American Puerto Rican comedian. Like I just want to leave that footprint here of like, it doesn't matter where you're from, how old you are, what gender you are. Mm-hmm. Like you've made it, and this is my message. And like you're not saying you're not somebody if you don't leave an imprint, but like I just feel like, especially with my community and my people, that I'm very proud of myself and everyone else that's in this industry that's, you know,
Yeah. And I mean,
minorities.
and I think it says something about anybody that's coming in and staying in. You've had to go through a lot, as a woman, as a minority,
Yeah.
in this field. Maybe, okay, you're not based in LA, so it's like maybe that's also, they're looking at it like, well, they're in New York, we need somebody in California, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you had the pandemic hit at the possibly the worst time, because you're still young, getting started in your career.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, pump the brakes, everything's stopping. So it's a testament to, yourself and anyone else that's been able to sort of carry on and, continue forward. So like kudos to you guys, because
Thank you.
that's awesome.
Yeah. I've been working with a lot of teams that were like mostly women too. And I'm just like, holy crap, this feels very flowy and just, I mean, women are known to be like nurturing. It just wasn't no egos and it was just like, we're here to work. Let's create, let's have fun.
Yeah.
Everything was ran on time. We worked the 12 hours, you go
Everything
home.
was organized properly.
Yeah, like it was just a whole different thing. So, but yeah, a lot has changed since I started working in this industry, and I'm just happy with how it's going. Even with the pandemic, I feel like everyone in that industry needed that break because the hours are crazy, and
Yeah, I'm sure.
it's just it's kind of like labor abuse. And I feel like now everyone's eyes are opening up to things and realizing like, oh shit, like we need to change these things. So God, where was I going with that? Okay. But yeah, I guess with the pandemic, when things started opening up, I did get to work with Netflix. I did get to work with Hulu. I got to work with Discovery. I got to work with the History Channel.
Nice.
So and I got to work on a documentary that it's freaking getting noticed now. And now there's a premiere Saturday. So it's just.
Can you share the name, share details, or?
It's called The Art of Making It.
Okay.
And it's a documentary feature film. And yeah, check it out. It's going to be at Doc NYC. They actually sold out for this Saturday.
Nice.
I know since they sold out, I think the next weekend they're having a screening so that people could see it. But yeah, I'm excited. It's just,
that's awesome.
I feel like if the pandemic didn't happen, like who knows, maybe I wouldn't have done all those things,
So quick question about the whole Netflix and Hulu and everything else. Like, is part of like the payment, do they give you like, an account, like for, a comp account? Because, these prices keep going up, I mean, it's just like, can you?
No, they don't. Are you kidding me? These people are money hungry.
I'm like, that would have been nice to be like, yeah, just include an account there in my, contract. We're good. We're good to go.
See, I'm a freelancer, so like, I don't think they would give me that. I'm there for a project and then I leave. So I'm not CEO of Netflix. I'm not Mr. Mrs. Netflix. I unfortunately don't get that treatment.
Man, we need to change the rules. You need a comp account.
I know, right? I work hard.
I'm going to start the hashtag on Twitter.
Comped accounts, please.
All right. Amanda, I know you have work to get to later today, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. Where can people find you? Where can they hear your podcast? I'm going to put everything in the show notes, but go ahead and you tell them from your own lips.
Okay, so you can find Bae with a Z podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Anchor, on YouTube. You can even see me getting stoned and drunk and talk about whatever. Yeah, those are, and you can find me on Instagram, Amanda Lynn Baez. I post a lot of goofy things too on there, or TikTok, Amanda Lynn Baez. It's literally my whole name. So if you Google my whole name, you will find everything, even going back to like my arrest from 2018. So everything, Amanda Lynn Baez.
Amanda, thank you so much. I wish you much success. This was so much fun. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, Gabe, thank you so much for having me. I'm
Yeah,
excited. Yes,
definitely.
this was great. Thank you.